ahead and call this evening's meeting to order. We will start with the pledge and prayer led by Noah Heaton.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father, we thank you for everyone gathered here tonight. We ask that you inspire our minds, fill our hearts with compassion, and our conversations with truth. We ask this in your name and all your glory. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, roll call.
Heaton,
Here.
Young, Evans, Meadows,
Here.
Beach,
Here.
Hurt,
Here.
Carter,
Here.
Ehlers.
Here. Okay, hearing of citizens' comments. If anyone is here, you may approach the podium. Give your name and ward. You have 5 minutes. Doesn't look like anyone's here for citizens' comments, so we'll move ahead with the approval of the minutes from the December 15th meeting. Those are in the packets. Are there any corrections? Okay, those will stand as presented. Move on to consent items. The first is consider pay request number 3 for B&P Patterson in the amount of $135,420.35 for the Spring Street improvements.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that this be approved. The consent items.
Oh, 2 consent items, I'm sorry. And also consider pay request for number 2 for Stockman Construction Corporation in the amount of $138,185.64 for concrete street repairs.
That motion be approved.
Morse and
Susan.
Susan seconded. Comments? All those in favor? Or roll call. Got off a little bit there.
Heaton,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ehlers.
Yes. Okay. Presentation of accounts and claims.
Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the Council at the regular meeting thereof on January 5th, 2015, the sum of $986,983.48. General Fund, $313,473.22. Sanitation, $29,443.43. CIP tax, $3,969.19. Waterworks, $124,318.56. Capital projects, $166,464.71. Wastewater, $68,533.69. Tourism, $21,610.27. Gaming, $259,173.41. Parks and Water, $0.00. Section 2. The bookkeeper is hereby authorized and instructed to draw the checks on their respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $986,983.48, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3. This ordinance shall take effect and be in force from and after its passage. First reading on January 5th, 2015, read for the second time this 5th day of January 2015, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, make a motion that this be approved.
Morse.
I'll second.
Second, ma'am. Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes. Okay, being no unfinished business, we'll move on to new business. First reading of bill number 2015-001, renewing and continuing capital sales tax.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, renewing and continuing a sales tax for capital improvements, providing that the sales tax will be in effect for a period of 5 years, and providing an effective date therefore.
Okay. Second item under new business is consider joint resolution R 2015-01, grant proposal with the Cooper County Commission and the University of Missouri for Economic Development. And Teresa will read this in its entirety.
A joint resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri and Cooper County, Missouri authorizing execution of the grant proposal with the University of Missouri for economic development activities and providing an effective date therefore. Whereas the respective parties are authorized under state law to engage in economic development activity, and whereas Cooper County, hereafter referred to as the county, is a political subdivision which is empowered to enter into joint agreements and engage in economic development activities under Article 6, Section 16 of the Missouri Constitution and under Sections 67.303, 70.220, 100.020, and 135.210 RSMO to advance the lawful activities of the county, and whereas the City of Boonville, hereafter referred to as a city, is a political subdivision which is empowered to enter into joint agreements and engage in economic development activities under Article 6, Section 16 of the Missouri Constitution and under Section 67.303, 70.220, 100.020, and 135.210 RSMO to advance the lawful activities of the city, and whereas the city, county, and University of Missouri entered into the same grant for economic development activities for the first 12-month period of February 1st, 2014 to January 31st, 2015, and whereas the grant proposal herein attached as Exhibit A defines the collaborative relationship among the city, county, and University of Missouri to continue to support local economic development activities, and whereas the parties desire to continue carrying out their respective duties for their citizens in the most economical and proper means available, taking into consideration the available resources of each of the parties, with the City of Boonville paying $55,000 per year to fund the grant and Cooper County paying $25,000 per year to fund the grant. Expenses and membership fees for the annual economic development activities will be paid by the city as expenses are incurred, and whereas the Community Economic Development Vision and Priority Statement, herein attached as Exhibit B, reflects the work priorities agreed upon to create jobs and retain current business in the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri and the Cooper County Commission of Cooper County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the City of Boonville, the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri hereby authorizes the mayor to execute the grant proposal. Section 2, that the Commission of the County of Cooper, Missouri hereby authorizes the presiding commissioner to execute the grant proposal. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval. Passed this 5th day of January 2015 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Make a motion this be approved.
Morse made the motion. Noah seconded. Any discussion? Ed?
I have two things. First, are there any changes to this when compared to last year?
The only change is the time frame. We proposed
That was going to be
2
question
years.
number 2, right?
That's it.
Yeah. Now, last year we decided to stay with 1 year. Was there some reason that we went ahead with 2 years?
I think it was just an opportunity to show confidence in the activities that we've been engaged with, and if it looks like it's a going concern, not to have to bring it back and go through this whole process every year.
So essentially, that's a recommendation of staff that we go for a 2-year
Correct.
as opposed to 1. Okay. I'm good with that. Thank you.
Okay, anything further? Roll call?
Heaton,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes. Okay, reports of standing committees, Boonville Housing Authority. Ned?
Great meeting. The minutes are there. If you have any questions, give a shout. But as has become tradition, Bob continues to get really high grades from
Okay. Park Board, Steve Young is not here this evening. Gary, do you have anything? Okay. Any questions for Gary? Ned?
Yeah, Gary, the comment about, or Albert Turner asked about lighting for the basketball court at Lions Park. Last time I drove by there, we didn't have backboards and rims.
We're in the process of replacing.
Okay, was that because of damage or just from time? Wow. Even with the cameras?
Even with the camera. We did, in that particular instance, though, the individual that was responsible for the damage to the support on the south end, we had them on camera, plus one of the neighbors called PD and turned them in, and they were able to actually, I don't think we ever pressed charges on it, because he claims it was an accident. By reviewing the film, it looks like it would have really been hard to go to court on that one.
Yeah.
But we took them down, and we haven't really had decent enough weather to get them back up since then. But I did purchase new poles last year in anticipation of replacing both of them. So I've got them,
Okay,
and we're ready to go whenever we can get a break in the weather.
okay, good, thank you. That answers my question. Thank you, Becky.
Okay, reports of city officials. City Administrator Earl?
Okay, I have a couple of things. One item is in your packet. It involves the referral to the mayor and myself from Steve Haig, the building inspector, on 4 dangerous building properties that he has started the process on, and will be ripe for a hearing before this body. So we need to officially set that date so we can get the notices out. And a couple of these are out-of-state owners, so we allowed a little bit of time there. But Steve's suggestion is Tuesday, February 17th. That's President's Day week, so that's ahead of our regular council meeting on Tuesday night. So,
Mayor,
Yes.
I'll move to set the date for Tuesday, February 17th, 5 p.m.
Second.
Seconded by Morse. Roll call? Or any discussion?
I have a quick question. Is the house number on 11th Street, 1212, is that the correct house number?
it's the house number. The property involved is more like a shed or something that kind of sits down.
Okay, thank
down
you.
away from the street.
Yeah, it's down back.
Yeah, you'll see the roofs.
See it?
I'm sorry, sir?
The garage that sits below.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You had a hard time believing that one was coming down too,
Yes,
didn't
sir. Yes.
you? Well, I peeked around the corner and
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah. I drove down around the subdivision down below there, that duplex, and saw it, but yeah.
Okay, any further questions or comments? Okay, roll call?
Heaton,
Yes?
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes?
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
I also included in your packet a sort of a general schedule for the next couple of months, primarily related to budget. What I wanted to, I guess, confirm is at least one date in there. Tonight, we're not having a work session. Next council meeting, which will be on Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day, I will do my general comments that cover health insurance and the stuff that affects all funds. The sanitation and tourism will have theirs ready to go. So that'll be a start. The 26th is next Monday. I don't have anything planned for them. The February 2nd, I would propose that we start early and do water and wastewater. February 9th, I don't have anything. February 17th, we just set the dangerous building meeting for that night, so it probably doesn't leave much time. We'll see how things go then. I could do the capital improvements 05 fund and parks and stormwater, since they're relatively simple. There's not a lot of categories or anything with them. Maybe even after the meeting or something like that, or push them back down. But the next one, I guess, is the main one I wanted to establish, is since we're not going to do anything major on the 17th, we probably need to have a special meeting, and so I suggested the 23rd. Don't really want to wait any longer than that, because the March calendar comes pretty quickly in terms of the first and third Mondays. Could scoot it back up to the 9th, but that's pretty compact for me, frankly. Could do it another night of the week, I guess. The 23rd's a Monday, I guess the fourth Monday.
Is that a 5 p.m.?
I didn't set a time on that, but since it's a work session, we can do it however we want. I'd be fine with me if we started a little earlier and got done a little. That's going to be a little longer one, because you see it has general and gaming and maybe some other things with it, so.
Can most everybody do the 5 p.m., or do we need to be 5:30, or?
Kari sometimes has trouble getting back at 5. Susan, do you?
I can get here by 5, 5:30 would be a little easier, but
Easier?
I can be here at 5.
Let's make it easier on Susan.
Well, thank you.
5:30, 23rd is a Monday, right?
Is that Monday?
It's a Tuesday.
23rd is
No,
a
it's
Monday.
Tuesday, yeah. you're right.
Mondays are good.
Monday,
Mondays are
yeah,
good.
it's a Monday. Yeah, the two following the council, or preceding the council meetings are on Tuesday, but that's because of the holidays, so. All right, so we're going to say 5 p.m. on the 23rd?
Thought it was
5:30, that's okay.
30.
Okay. That's all I have on that. One final thing, if you might have noticed in the paper, we're moving forward on the next STP road project, and that encompasses the entrance to Kemper Drive over there off Ashley. It's just the entrance, it's not much of Kemper Drive, goes back 50 or 100 feet, primarily to clean up the intersection there where it doesn't drain, and it's kind of a mess all the time. And it also includes the block of Locust Street up by the school, from Main Street to 6th Street. So that's going out for a bid now. Bids are due in September. We've tried to orchestrate the schedule to accommodate the school, and there's a fairly short window there, so we're trying to get it such that the contractor can work on Locust Street immediately upon school dismissal, because the buses pick up stuff over there, and that street will be closed for some period of time, so. So that's just information, so that's all I have.
Okay,
I've got a quick question for Earl. Did you get word of whether or not the Katy Bridge folks got the extension on the tax credits or
The
bought
extension
them?
was approved, yes.
That was approved? Okay,
Yes, it was approved.
thank you.
And we also, Kate got a report today, and there was some year-end contributions that went on that were fairly decent, and we're down to about 36,000 in total donations, which is 18,000 a credit. So there was a dent put in there, so we need one more big dent, and we almost might have it done, but
Well,
Things
sounds
tend-
like the local tax credits might take care of that next year.
pardon?
The local folks might take care of that.
Possibly, if we can do that, but it tends to go quiet after the first of the year
Oh, yeah.
for a considerable period of time, so. And we don't have until unless we're truly frustrated more, we're not gonna have till the end of the year to do this, because we hope to get this thing out to bid pretty soon, so.
Yeah. Now, do we have to have those credits all purchased before we go to bed? Go to bed? No, bid?
Well, I guess not, because my assumption is that the Save the Katy group is gonna make us whole for whatever amount is short in some fashion or other, so I guess not.
Is that, I can see going to bid and having some activity out there could help.
I could see that too, and that's one of their points,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
for what it's worth. Yes, yeah. So,
Anything else for Earl this evening?
no.
I got one. Would it be real hard for you to compile a list for us on some of the activity from this so that
Yes,
when we're trying to sell the idea, we can
we will.
have some examples? This is the one that's split up between parks, the fire, yeah.
As
Okay.
a form, yeah, yes, I think that's in
It's an easy
process.
sell, I think, but it's nice
Yeah,
to educate
it
us
is.
so we know how to speak about it.
Yeah, there's a little, if you recall, there was a little campaign committee, because staff can't advocate, we
Right.
provide insurance and work on it a bit, but we can't advocate a tax. But I think that preparing that list of what it's been spent for over the last 5 years, informational, and I think that's in process of being done, because the committee had a meeting today for the first time.
Okay.
Did you want to discuss it all, A Barracks, tonight?
No, that's primarily for your own edification, I guess. Hey, it'll probably come up during the budget a little bit, so.
Is there, would it be prudent to have a demolition estimate alongside this?
I don't have any objection to that. I just don't know that I have a go-to person that I feel comfortable with getting an estimate, so.
That's a freaking lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but if anything's to be saved down there, it might be that one.
Yeah, you and I talked about that.
Yeah.
I happen to agree with you, but it's still a bunch of money.
Yeah, because it'll be a lot more prominent once the admin building's going, and that's progressing also, so.
Okay. City Councilor.
I do have two things tonight. One is a brief announcement. Vicki McCarroll, who works for the Department of Mental Health, is actually going to come and present at our Planning and Zoning Commission on Tuesday, January 13th at 7 p.m. She and I and several other folks had a conversation a couple months ago in regards to the group homes and folks in our community with developmental disabilities. And she's got a real good handle, obviously, on the Boonville community with her involvement at UOI for a number of years. And there are some new federal rules and regulations coming down that I think will inform us on how we need to maybe move forward with some issues at the planning and zoning level. So I think it's important that she come and directly address the planning and zoning group, and hopefully maybe you all can come or send somebody, and we'll try to get a number of folks that were interested in that issue at the meeting next week.
At 7 p.m. here?
Yes, we'll be here. Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on the 13th at 7 p.m. And the second issue is just to bring you all up to speed. The city has been approached, it's probably been 6 or 8 weeks ago now. We've had additional interest from Crown Castle, who is the current owner of the lease with our big cell tower here next to the city council chambers. You know, we have a tall flagpole and some ground equipment. They are apparently investigating doing a second cell tower, very close proximity to the current flagpole tower that we have. We've gotten some preliminary drawings. Obviously, because we are in a National Register historic facility, it will have to go through a number of governmental kind of reviews. But it's coming to a head. So if you all hear it, you see it in the newspaper, there'll probably be public hearings published, those kind of things. We will be having a conference call hopefully next week to finalize what some of the site plan issues are. We've got a few concerns and issues that we want to make sure get addressed with the activity level and those kind of things out there. And it's going to take up some parking on that side of the building. So, but just to let you know that that has been going on. It's been kind of low-key until this last week, so.
Was there any consideration given to the water towers? I mean, I know at one time we were leasing space on the water towers to...
They do look at that. This location is just perfect, apparently, for what they do and the range that they're looking for. We've had those conversations with them all the time. We ask them, why here, and, we've gone through that. But they get penetration apparently into Howard County, and this is a high point, and this is just a really good access point for them. So they like this location. But we'll be exploring it and making sure that we communicate concerns regarding the issues around the building. That's all I have.
Okay. Economic development. Jim?
Good evening, council. First of all, thank you for the support of passing the continuation of our agreement. I look forward to serving you for another 2 years. In your packet, I provided the report that I give the IDA, and I would like to just highlight a few things. My apologies if I replow some ground that I've already covered with you. The IDA did not meet in November. I briefed you about things that I hadn't talked to them about, so it came up on their agenda again in December for us to discuss. So again, my apologies if I cover some things that I've already covered with you. First of all, I'll direct your attention to item 1B, is that Megan has been helpful to the IDA regarding the deed restrictions on the bakery. I did float an inquiry about if it can ever be a bakery again, would you consider making a donation of that building and property to the city if we agree to use for some other purpose than a bakery? I have not received any reply to that, but I did float that idea out there. Item 3B, I did have a meeting with Cooper County Memorial Hospital. Initially, my meeting with Danny Gerhardt was to talk about the IDA and the hospital working together on a joint proposal on an attraction project. This project has been coded Project Bed, which is something that we've been working on for quite some time, and the IDA and I have strategized that we want to begin the process of putting forth a very compelling proposal to this organization, and the hospital would need to be a key player in that proposal, and their management group, as well as Danny, was very receptive to that. Now, subsequent to that meeting, then their request came forth at your last meeting regarding some assistance in financing one of their projects. At Earl's request, I did do some, because it was an economic development issue, I did do some financial analysis. Danny and I had exchange over the holidays, and Earl, my understanding is you forwarded that on to the council. So I didn't bring those documents with me tonight, but I'm certainly happy to answer any questions. I thought the questions that I posed back to Danny was, and her responses were very helpful. I don't know what you think, but I thought they were very helpful.
They were very helpful.
Okay, I appreciate that. And obviously, if there is a way to make that work for all the parties involved, certainly the hospital as an entity itself is one that we need to find a way to support if we can, if it makes sense. And certainly for our likability as a community, I think that would be important. So I know you know that, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it again. Item 6A, you've heard me talk a lot about the Alternative Energy Technician Training Program. We're the school district, just to review briefly, this program is in support of one of our targeted industry clusters that we're working on. And that is getting more and more positive traction. The school district and the city are getting some degree of notoriety around the state for being a trendsetter in this regard. So that's within the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and vocational education arenas. So I just wanted to let you know that that has been a positive thing. A instructor for that program has been hired. And hired a little bit out of sequence of normal instructions so that they can receive training in very, very new curricula over the summer and prior to the summer even. So the school district has committed some resources to make this helpful. Other than that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Kate and I did respond to an inquiry about a rather significant retail space in town. We provided information. I don't have any further information, and I don't even know who the client was. But there was a inquiry about a significant amount of retail space and its availability, so I did send information. Are there any questions that I can answer for you?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, city clerk.
Okay, I have a filing update. As of today, we have had 2 incumbents file for re-election, Becky Ehlers in Ward 3 and Steve Young in Ward 1. Incumbent Morris Carter has decided to withdraw his name from the filings, and Stan Baker has filed for Ward 2. Just as a reminder, the next regular council meeting will be held on Tuesday, January the 20th, due to the Martin Luther King holiday on Monday, January the 19th. And that's all I have.
Okay, any further announcements? With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Morris, second?
Second.
Ned? Those in favor?
I think we do this one.
All those in favor? Meeting adjourned.
Aye.